Record. So again, good evening to all of you. And again, we are on chapter on midterm, which is writing research reports. And we are done with writing style and sample review paper. Now we're going to have sample research paper and sample EUP report. So we started last time and we discussed about the methodology, introduction, and abstract. So for now, we're going to have how to make the results and discussion as a sample. And then after that, we will be one by one, we will read the tips on the link that I have given you here. Ito siya, sila. This book, which is Scientific Writing for Agriculture Research Scientists. So again, let me just So, I'm so glad na madami tayo ngayon. We are 15. Thank you for joining. And, okay, to continue what we have discussed last time, which is all about results and discussion na. So, just to compare the publication or thesis form, journal form ng different results and discussion. So, typically it's all just the same, no? Like we in this paper we talk about percentage of survival. So first, in the first sentence, you are first to describe um what what are you studying for, no, and where can you show the data. So you say here the percent survival of tissue culture Cavendish banana plantlets at 15 days after planting is shown in table 1, and also we have figure 1. That's one. So the tissue culture Cavendish banana plantlets applied with stimulate at the University of Southeastern Philippines, and we have table 1, the percentage of survival of tissue culture Cavendish banana plantlets as affected by stimulate at 15 days after planting. So, i-present mo yan. So, unang first sentence mo is presentation and discussion. And then after the presentation, and you can see the title of the table and the figure, no? And you are citing them. And most mistakes when you do actually your manuscript is you have here the table 1 and you have here the figure, but then you don't cite that in the discussion. Well, that's the common mistake and common tradition na in the college, no, that is practice that should be hopefully in your time when you have your OIP will be checked already na during your present ninyo in the first sentence, you should always cite what's in the table 1 and in the figure 1, or what and so on. So then what is inside the table 1, it doesn't mean that you are going to again repeat what is being presented in table 1. So as you can see here, they are all 100% percentage of survival. Like you say T1, replication 1 is 100, T1, T2, and the mean and so on is 100. So you don't have to repeat all of that in your results and discussion. So you just say results indicate that all sample plants survive. And then you have here, after that, that's the simple and very short explanation of what is in this table 1. No? So if you, again, if you have questions, After the 45-minute recorded video, then we will have an open forum or discussion or question and answer. So, and then you support that with previous studies or findings in the literature. Like the tissue culture seedlings provide very high survival, which results to uniform stand, which is evident in many trials done. So you enumerate here the different authors, no? Payot and so on. So there's a lot na lahat ng in terms of tissue culture, Cavendish, banana, and other crops, they also have 100% na percentage of survival. No. It's also the same when you have your EUP, FPA EUP. So you show in this case we have here the plant height, and in some journal also they will just say results first and then discussion, and the discussion will be later part after all the results, and discussion will be as a whole. So it's depending on the format of the journal that you are following. So depende yon. And in this case, if wala naman masyadong requirements, so you just it's better that you combine the results and discussion. So mas malinaw siya in the presentation. So we have here, as shown in table 1 and figure 1, the plant height was significantly affected by the full-on liquid fertilizer at 15 and 30 days after transplanting. So you always cite and state which is table 1. So as you can see, meron siyang asterisk and double asterisk, which means they are significant and highly significant, with means with the same letter. It means lahat ng, these are all means, ha? The same letter, so may A, eto, may lahat ng may A, are not significantly different, meaning the same sila at 5% and 1% level of probability using on a significant difference test. So these are days after transplanting as shown here. So at 15, it's only significant at 5%, and this is highly significant at 1% level. So lahat ng letter A, although the highest is T4. You can see here the highest is T4, and but then it is similar to sa lahat ng mga na may A. And the lowest is B, 4.3, which are also similar to lahat ng may B. But you're going to state that in a manner, for instance, and another example is the highest here is T6, which and I mean T6 and then T4 kasi magkapareho lang sila, and also T2, and here lahat ng may A. And the lowest is T1. So you're going to state like this in this manner. So results show that T6 of inorganic NPK and so on, and T4 increase the plant height of petchy up to 29% compared to control or yung treatment 1 at 30 dots. So at 30 dot tayo, no? Hindi mo, as I have said, hindi mo isa-isahin kung anong T1 control is at 15 dot is 5.3. No, you don't do that. You just present the captivating result, which is ano yung highest, ano yung lowest, and by how much higher siya. So you just compute like this one, the highest is 19 kasi sa 30 dot ito. So the highest is 19, i-minus mo lang sa 14, and then i-divide mo into 14, so that makes it 29%. No? Or over 100, so that's in percentage. So since lahat ay merong, ang T2 ay meron ding A, and T3 and T5, so they are just comparable. Ibig sabihin the same lang sila ng result. So this indicates that the application of both or each recommended NPK fertilizer increase the plant height of pechay. So again, in your discussion, the result is up to here, this one. But the discussion will start here from here. So anong ibig sabihin ng result na yan? It means that yung recommended ng complete fertilizer and with also the foliar fertilizer will increase the plant height of pechay. And you are going to back up that. How true is that? Pareho ba yan sa result ng literature? So you can say that in previous studies, various foliar supplements have also been studied to maximize the growth and establishment of various crop as enumerated in this different. So there are also, this is very short na version, but in some cases there are also editors na gusto nila anong sinabi ni Bilog 2006 ni Era, anong result nila and so on. So you have to write it sometimes, no? Or most especially pag pina-review paper or limited lang yung words na kailangan, so pwede na siyang ganyan lang, no, naka-enumerate. So that's for the first the first data, which is plant height. Now you have the second. By the way, sorry na ano ang figure. Nasira siya. So as you can see here, naman to? So ang figure niya should have, hindi ko alam kung paano siya i-undo. Wait lang. Ito pala. Undo. So bakit siya mawawala? Okay, hindi na siya nang wala. Now, so this is arranged accordingly as T1, T2, T3, and so on. So ito T1, T2, T3, and so on. And you can see here the different treatments, ano ibig sabihin, and the growth of pechay as influenced by FOF at 30 days after transplanting. So, at least makita nila kung gaano kataas at ang difference nila. Although it's, for me to say, the result is not, I mean, the result is very good, but the photos or the growth is not that really the maximum na growth niya. So anyway, we will just see the significant differences. So huwag na masyadong choosy. So next na data is the number of leads. Pina-EUP style ito ha. Although pareho lang talaga sila in terms of result and discussion, magkaiba lang sila sa format ng methodology and so on. So ito, again, the number of leads, you will say it's shown in table 2, and what's the effect? It's significant or the same. Since this is not significant, it means NS, ito yung table 2. No, table 2. NS is not significant. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang mga letter kasi lahat, walang effect therefore. So you will just say here, the effect of various fertilizer on the number of pechay leads were the same. And you can say anong range niya. Hindi mo talaga isasahin T1 is 3.3 at 15 dot and 5.6 at 30 dot and so on. So you will just say the range so that the readers have idea on what you're talking about in terms of how many leads they have at 15 dot at saka 30 dot. So nagre-range siya ng 3 to 4 at 5 to 7. So wala kang sasabihin na highest siya ang treatment na ito or lowest ang treatment na ito kasi wala siyang effect. Pareho lang siya in terms of number of leads. So sa leaf length naman, it's also NS. So again, you will say the range and also cite the table. And in the leaf width, para namang NS ito lahat, no? Just the same. And root length this time is also ns, so you will just again say, and even you can also add in your discussion kasi this is the presentation form and the discussion form is this one. Ayan. So you can also back up that with previous literature kung meron ng ns. So like you will say it's also the same, no? If the same effect is also observed in UNTAL 2021, no? In the case of carrots or so on. So yung root length din niya NS, pero in terms of fresh weight uh, is is significant na siya. So usually ito yung kompletong ANOVA result, no? You should state the the letter notation at saka yung asterisk na it will say if it's highly significant or significant. One asterisk is significant and two asterisks are highly significant. So pag isang asterisk lang, it means 5% level lang siya. But two asterisks meaning 1% level lang siya. And it's also very important to show the CV or coefficient of variation that is in the ANOVA. You can find that in the ANOVA table. Kasi usually, pag ito napakataas ng variation. Pag laboratory or field CV is dapat nasa less than 10% lang siya. But then it is also case-to-case basis. So 35% may be acceptable depending on a specific type of study. So sa fresh weight, you will say it's shown in figure table 6 and figure 2. And the result shows that the highest PetShy fresh weight, which is 13% higher than the control, is the T4 and T4 lang. And it's also the same with T2, T3, and T5. And then you will say that, of course, then the control, so lowest na yon. And ito na yung discussion mo. This implies that application of FOLF can reduce the recommended rate ng NPK since T4 is half na lang ng recommended rate ng inorganic na NPK with the combination ng full recommendation ng FOLF. So it's higher yung weight ng PetShy. So ito yung figure differences. This is also another way how you present the differences of the different treatments, no? Using representative samples that will also reflect on the result of this table. So T4 is the highest, so here. And the lowest is T1. So, yan, kumpara. Although, sa presentation lang kasi paglagay niyan, so medyo ito, marag, ano siya, daghan tan-ang compare this one. So, it is sometimes, kasi pinili lang namin ang pinakamaganda sa, pinakamalaki sa lahat. So, naging ganyan. But supposedly sana, you choose the sample that will represent also the table. Ayan. And dry weight also is significant. So as you can see here, treatment for yung half recommendation ng NPK with full recommendation ng FOLF is the highest, which is how many percent? Which is higher than or significantly different kasi B siya and then A sa control. Yan. And this is also the figure that will represent kasi kumuha kami ng dry weight. So after drying in the oven for madali lang kasi madry yung PetShy for so dinay lang siya ng mga 3 to 4 hours. And then you compute the yield using the formula presented earlier. No, ayun. So as shown on table 8, it's significant and highest is T4 again. Ang CV niya is 34 pa din. So ayan. there was a significant differences, and then the results confirmed that ang T4 talaga will increase the petchay yields up to 4 times. Again, paano mo kinuha yung 4 times? I-minus mo lang yung 70 by 17 and then divided it by 17. And then you're going to support it with previous studies. So it says here that based on Eroy, kasi siya yung first na nag-study ng FOLF, so it sa kanyang study, it really is effective, so na-verify in this second study. And so the yield was significantly improved by application of T5 also with 86.11% according to him, and so on. So in the last part, you're going to say the conclusion. So what are the conclusion? These are actually the summary of the results. So as you can see here, based on the result of the study, the growth and yield pressure were affected by FOLF in terms of plant type, fresh, ano yung mga nagsignificant, and so on. And then, however, ano yung mga hindi nagsignificant? The leaf, length, width, and so on did not have significant differences among treatments. So ano na ngayon? So after presenting ano yung nagsignificant, ano yung hindi, you will say results show that ano yung highest at ano yung lowest in terms of plant height. While in terms of dry weight naman, anong yung higher, and in terms of yield, and so on. And yung parang conclusion mo, or ano yung main interpretation mo on this data. So this implies that application of FOLF can reduce the recommended rate ng NPK fertilizer since T4 is half and then application into half to achieve higher weight and yields of petchay. So yun yung conclusion mo. You will not say this. Ang difference lang ng conclusion sa discussion is that wala na siyang support explanation kung ano ang functions ng ano ang meron sa FOLF, or ano yung previous studies conducted or done before. So in your references, so you can this is another way of writing your references, no? Although hindi siya magkapare, oh my god, na nag-technical error lang to. So ito yung common mistake, no? Like, pareho sila ng format, but when you come here, this is capitalized all, this one is not. So dapat dili ni siya capitalized to make it. And also this one, this is capitalized all, but then this one, it should be not, no? Yan. So dapat kung anong pinagsimulan mo na format, dapat pare-pareho na siya in the end. Yan. So this is the sample appendix A, or soil analysis, and that you can see in your EUP report. So to show you the result and the different photos, experimental area, and so ayan, yun lang ang pinakita. But when you go to the normal or journal type of, or manuscript type of results, so again, alam niyo naman siguro, no, magtanong lang kayo ulit ano ibig sabihin. So dito naglagay lang ng initial kasi just to see the difference ng increment, kasi we compute the increment. Ibig sabihin ano ang tinaas, no, from initial. So it means from 1.84, ang difference ng height niya is 1.23. So kung i-add mo yung dalawa, it would, yun yung talagang actual na plant height niya. So as you can see here, these are highly significant, and the letter notations, you have seen here the letter A's. So meron tayong T4, 5, 6, and in at 30 days after planting, meron ang T4 again and T4 again, but comparable siya sa T6 and 7. So, basically the same lang yung pag-present ng table, may with figures also. So, after the title, kailangan meron siyang, ano itong mga treatments na ito. And then, what does it means? And the discussion, so you say the study coincides with the previous study. And an explanation on what is the function of stimulate. So, medyo mahaba siya compare sa AUP report. Kasi manuscript form ito and then stand diameter ulit, which is also highly significant. And you have to present what does it mean. So, ano yung highest, ano yung lowest, at saka ano ang functions ng ginamit no na fertilizer. Or if you have found previous studies, so you can say that. And then we have length of leaves, width of leaves increment, and number of leaves. Yeah, number of roots. So you have here also a figure to show you the roots niya. So you can see here, kailangan in proper order. So ito yung T1 from left to right, T1, T2, and hanggang T7 in itong last. So you can see may difference talaga, no? But the root length is NS here. Root length ba to? In terms of the number of roots, significant siya. But in terms of root length, NS siya. So, ibig sabihin, pare-pareho lang siya. Although sa photo na ito, you can see na may isa talaga dito na sobrang haba. But since representative lang ito, so you should be careful when presenting representative photos. Para dapat mag-drive siya sa ganito. Sa result. And we also came up with dry weight. And you can see highly significant lahat. Ayan, this is a sample how you're going to present it. So as you can see, mas mahaba ang mga explanation sa manuscript or journal form kaysa EUP report. And you have also here conclusion and recommendation. So what are the summary of all the results and also what does it mean? So that's the conclusion and these are the references. So ito naman, iba din format niya. As you can see here, wala na siyang parentheses and all capitalized na siya. So, kailangan lang talaga consistent yung format mo from the beginning into the end. So, this is also, sorry, next. So, this is also to how to write a website. Okay, so we still have 7 minutes anyway, and so yun yung results and the comparisons ng results hanggang references between an EUP report and a journal or manuscript report. Sa manuscript, kasi ito journal form talaga ito. But then I would suggest na sa manuscript, pinakita ko naman sa inyo no, yung sample manuscript na lahat ng ang appendices ay napakadami. Napakadaming nandito some of the appendices meron pang mga analysis of variance. No, I hope I can still show you. Which one? Okay. View full text. So ito yung sample na full manuscript, although this is published in a book, but this is just the whole sample talaga. Hopefully tama akong ginaingon na rin nga na ano siya. Of course you will have your own acknowledgement. Of course you have to um you will have a lot of sample anyway to follow. So you have the table of contents. So ito yung complete na anong content ng manuscript form ng OIP manus or thesis. So merong list of tables and then list of figures, and then you will have abstract, introduction. So hanggang meron ka ding review of literature, no, in the manuscript form. Kasi itong pinakita ko is journal form ito. So in ang review of literature is embedded na in the introduction, which is, as you can see here, napakahaba ng review of literature and may mga subtopics siya about petchy, stimulate, and also bioforge. So these are the fertilizers or the stimulants that you are using in the study, and the methodology. So ayan, you can see mahahaba siya with photos, treatments, cultural management and practices. Ilang page pa ito? Then the data gathered. So ito si Ahela. Classmate yan ni Sir JP. Yeah, and how she measured the width of leaves. So with photos pa yan siya, no? Sa kanyang methods. So I think was in her appendices. So ito yung results niya. Sorry kung medyo nagmamadali ako. So this is just to show you ano yung nasa full manuscript talaga. So lahat ng results and also discussion. And then you have meron pa nga itong, sinali ko ba? Yan, fresh weight daw. Although I really don't like how she presented the different treatments, no, in terms of fresh weight here. So as you can see, kasi parang hindi mo na rin makikita yung difference niya, but then for the sake na lang na may kinuha siyang photo just to show you. But I'm not really that would recommend this type of one. Dapat i-arrange, magkuha lang kag representative or at least i-arrange mo siya in one photo session. Like what I've shown you earlier. So, daghan kayo, no? And then this is the yield. And eto, this is a sample economic analysis. So you will enumerate here the different treatments at ilan yung yield ng different treatments per plot. And in terms of kilogram, tas ilang tagpilang per kilo, so i-multiply mo lang yan. So lahat ng na-harvest mo, although kinain mo lang, but you have to quantify them and give them gross income, no, or price. So of course you will have sa expenses ng ano yung mga nagastos mo. So we're less than a minute, and then you will minus the total expenses and the gross income, lahat ng nabenta mo. So ito yung net income mo, and you can compute the return of investment, which is already shown in the formula. So yan. So lahat ito negative, as you can see. Yung T5 lang ang 42% ang return of investment. That is how to show you the economic analysis. But in your appendices, we're less than a minute. So after literature cited, my God, I'm so sorry. Wala dahil ang mga, unsa dito nga study. So usually nakabutan na ang mga ANOVA analysis of variance. And since, sorry na mali ko, I have here, I will show you next time kung ano meron sa analysis of sa mga appendices. No, so sorry. Okay, so do you have any questions before we proceed? So next time we will talk about sample qualitative, and then we will start on next Wednesday, and hopefully we can start now on the IMRAD.